Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Learn GSP with Mahesh. Today I'm really excited. The reason is I have achieved a magic number of 5k subscribers, which is really good. I would say I'm really happy. So I have achieved a great milestone is what I feel, and I wanted to achieve one more milestone in the next one day. So what is the thing? So as of today, I have posted almost like 183 public videos. So I wanted to make it 200. So what I have done is I have taken up a challenge myself. So I'm going to do 17 videos in the next 17 hours. So on 13th of July, you should be seeing totally 200 videos hitting. So that is a challenge which I'm going to take. So the first video which we are going to do is uh, how to run a data flow instance with internal IP address. So for most of you, you may be aware that if you have an external IP address for a virtual machine or for a Kubernetes cluster, you are going to have a cost for that. So this is a recent change. So look into the documentation for the pricing information, but there's a cost which was not there previously. Now it is there, whether it is static or ephemeral. So let's try to make it cost optimized ETL processing where we can run the ETL job using data flow, which is basically running on a managed instance group with internal IP address. Let's see that how to do that. All right, we are in our console, so there is no jobs currently running. So what we will do is we'll use a option of template, and I'm going to use a very simple template, the word count example. I have filled in the form to save the time. So the name of the job is dataflow hyphen internal IP, and I'm going to use word count example, the most simplest example which you get in dataflow. And based on the requirement, I have given the necessary input parameter, which is a storage bucket, which a data. So this is the data and this is a public data set. I'm just leveraging it. And once it processes it, the output will be stored in this bucket. And this currently the bucket is, if I just go here, the bucket is currently empty. That's what you see. So once the process is completed, you should see the output there. And there's a temporary location for staging the data. So I'm just going to give this. So this is the stuff. If you just leave these things, enter these things and click on run job, what happens is it's going to run. So by just running this, it's going to create a virtual machine. This is what you are going to see. If I just click it, I have not clicked it. If I click it, you will get a virtual machine provision and it will have an internal IP address plus an external IP address. How do we avoid that? Very simple. So just go back to your job, and this is available for any job, whether you create your own custom job or it's a template for everything. This option is going to work. What is that is, just click on this optional parameters. Many of us don't even explore this. The hidden secret is here. So if you see here, you have worker IP address configuration. So by default, it is public. So if you just do this with private, you should be able to run the job with internal IP address, just not like this. So you need to turn on this parameter. This is one thing. The second important thing is, if you see here, I'm running the endpoint in Taiwan. So what you should do is one more additional step. Go to your network. Currently I have only default VPC. Go to the subnetwork of your Taiwan and make sure your private Google access is turned on. By default it will be off. Turn it on. Just click on edit, turn it on, save it, and once it is saved, go back to your job and execute it. This is very important. If you don't turn it on, you will get an error saying that private Google access is not enabled. So these are the two steps which you need to do so that you can have a data flow job running with internal IP address. So let's just do that. So I have turned on the private Google access, and this is also set. And if you are very curious to know what's the command line equivalent of it, just click on it and you should be able to see. And the most important thing in our context is private IP address is what should be shown here. It's not showing. So it should work. I have seen this. So if you just do that, but it's not showing it in the command line option. Yeah, this one. Disable public IP address. This is the flag which you should use. So all good. Let's click on create. or let's click on run job. Let's wait for the DAC, directed acyclic graph, to come up. So let's wait for a minute here, and in the couple of minutes we should show whether we should see whether it's really running or not. If the DAC is running, yes, it has started up. So let's give a couple of minutes for it to finish it off. By the time this finishes off, we can just go to our compute engine and just refresh the screen, because this is a batch job. We have to see the output only when the job is running. If it's a streaming job, definitely you can come at any point of time and you can see it. So if I just see, it has just started. So the virtual machine is also started is what it indicates. Let's just verify it. The most important thing for us is it started. You see this? It is started, and the most important thing, external IP address is none. And that's the awesome feature. So let's wait for a couple of minutes for this job to be finished. Once it is finished, you should see the output. The count should be in this bucket. So let me just pause it for a minute here. Just wanted to show you everything here. Internal IP address, external IP address is none, and the job is currently reading it. So if I just click on read lines, currently it has not even started reading it. So we need to wait for it. Sorry, this one. The number of elements has not even been started. Yes, it looks like it has started. Let's just click on this one more time. So yes, these many records has been read. That's good. Now it's going to the next stage, or the transformation, or you usually call it as P transforms. So it's just processing it. Once it processes this, it should come to the map elements. Lastly, it should write it into our Google Cloud storage. You see this? It started with these many elements, and after doing word count, because there would be certain words which would be repeated, so it has come down to this much is what I would say. So now let's wait for a couple of minutes, and once we wait, we should see the output here. If I just refresh it, awesome, we see the output here. And if I just go back to the job has successfully finished, where it has read almost like 5525 elements, and it has counted, and it has got to this much. So if you are really interested, just go and view the data. You should be able to know the data there. So if you are really interested, let me just open this in a browser, new browser, so that you can see the output, the count. You see more is a word which has occurred more than 6 times. So that is the stuff. The key takeaway is, if you just go back to your virtual machine, it's going to be spinning down now, because the batch job has finished. So you should see it has spun down, and your job is successfully completed. And the whole thing which we achieved this time was using internal IP address. So if I just click on this job one more time, it's succeeded, complete. Now if I just go back, it is completed. So what we have achieved is we have run our pipeline using internal IP address. So that's the video which I wanted to show. It's a couple of very simple steps, couple of 2 steps. One, make sure you have turned on the private Google access in the specific subnetwork, followed by in the job, make sure you run it with turn on the worker IP address as private. So if you do that, your data flow job is going to run with internal IP address. So that's the video, the first video which I wanted to share today. Thank you for watching.